Get ready for another video in Alex's garage. Alright, so in the garage today, this weekend, got a bit of an interruption. We'll be putting a pergola up in the backyard, and as such, we need to prep all this wood. Some of it needs to be stained before we can assemble it. And so what I'm going to do real quick here is do a quick short on how to build a down and dirty cheap little sawhorse out of some scrap materials. These are the battens that were part of the pallet. They had the strapping that went through the little groove here, and those are going to be the legs. This top piece here is just some 1x6, just some stuff I had around, and then for cross bracing, we're going to use just some cheap 1/2-inch plywood that I had sitting in my scrap pile. I know we all have a scrap pile in the corner, don't we? I'm not the only one who does that. I certainly hope not, anyway. So anyway, we're going to put it to good use, and we're going to build a sawhorse. So first step up, you want to take some of this 2x6 material, and you want to make a T. See, I've already made a T right here. Just take, this is going to be the top of the sawhorse, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to take another piece of scrap material here, and we're going to cut it into 4 pieces, and we're going to make this little edge here. What we're end up doing is we're going to end up making a almost like an I shape, like an I beam. If it was a 2x4, you might want to do it. If you had 2x4s, you just take 2 2x4s and make an I like this, but it would be the same effect. In this case, you're just trying to make a standoff so that when you put your legs in here, this becomes the gap. You see how that's working? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut those up, and then we'll break back into the next step. All right, so there's our I-beam. Now, just to visualize what this is going to look like, we're going to put the legs in. Oops. We're going to put the legs in like this. There you go. So you run a screw in here, and then another screw in the top. And that gives you a nice angled leg like that. Now, I learned a neat little trick from Chief Bookcom, is a good friend of mine, actually my son's father-in-law. The way he does it is he puts a 15-degree angle in his, and that way not only do you have an angle this way for your leg, but you also end up with an angle this direction. That makes it a lot stronger. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. If you happen to have a protractor like this, you can just mark off 15 degrees and then cut an angle with your legs. We're going to use these for legs, and we're going to try to match the height of this table, so I can use this table and this little sawhorse to stain these beams. All right, so let's go ahead and cut these legs up. All right, so there you can start to see about what we're looking at. We have an I-beam, and the board goes up in there. We have cut the angles at 15 degrees off, so that we have a little bit of a deflection in our legs there. You can see I got these in with one little screw. So let's go ahead and get the second set of legs now. We're going to make the second set of legs out of a slightly different material, because again, this is just made out of scrap. So let's see how much we can get out of this with just some scrap stuff. All right, there you go. $0. It makes nothing but sense. That is a free sawhorse. Again, you start with a T. In this case, I used a couple of 1x pieces, but you can also do this with a 2x4 and make an I-beam out of the 2x4, where you put one 2x4 on the bottom and another 2x4 on the top, and you'll get the same thing, but the deflection will be further away. But what that does is it gives you about a 15-degree angle from here to there. If you cut the wood at 15 degrees, it'll match up real nice there. And then, like Chief Bookcom did, in his suggestion, we also added a 15-degree angle here, which broadened the stance of the sawhorse. You just drill the hole, I pre-drilled some holes and ran some screws through there, and then put some batting around the edges. This helps to support these legs and keep everything nice and true. And there you go, just some scrap material laying around. And in the case of these legs, this is just some batting from the project when they delivered it on the pallet. So that's how to make a scrap sawhorse for $0. If you were to buy a sawhorse in the store, you wouldn't get out for less than 30 bucks. And this is $0. And I had fun building it. So there you go. Hope this helps out with your projects.